Wonderful. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the panel Scaling, Securing, Engaging Voices Shaping Africa's Digital Growth. My name is Akim Benamara, and I'm the Chief Editor and Founder of TechAfrica News, and I guide you today through this conversation. Africa's digital economy is one of the fastest growing in the world, and it's not slowing down. If you look as of 2024, more than 520 million people across the continent are subscribed to mobile services. And here's the key. 4 out of 5 internet connections in Africa happen through mobile, which just underlines that Africa is truly a mobile-first continent, not just in theory, but in everyday's life. Now, while the opportunity is massive, so are the challenges. Today, around 43% of the population is still unconnected. Affordability, coverage gaps, digital literacy, these are real daily barriers, especially in the rural and underserved communities. But there's also momentum, a lot of it. Mobile money is thriving. In 2023 alone, over $830 billion in mobile transactions were made in sub-Saharan Africa only. Direct carrier billing and mobile payment options are opening doors, especially where credit cards aren't common. And digital content from education to entertainment is also growing fast, often bundled with mobile services. However, with the growth comes the responsibility. We're seeing more fraud attempts, unclear user flows, widening trust gaps in how services are built and managed. And at the same time, there's impressive innovation. Telcos, digital platforms, and content creators are adapting solutions to fit local realities. So today we can ask, how do we see scale responsibly? How do we secure trust while growing reach? And how do we truly engage users and not just onboard them? This session brings together powerful voices from the ecosystem, from operator perspective, platform and merchants, to discuss what's working, what's broken, and how we can build a stronger, more inclusive digital future for Africa. But before we get into the discussion, let's start with a quick round of introductions of the panel. Could each of you briefly introduce yourself and share your role in the digital ecosystem? We can start with Eric.
Thank you, Akim. Nice to meet you. My name is Eric. I'm working at Digital Virgo as the Chief Operating Officer. First of all, thank you very much to the MEF for organizing this first session. As Enzel was saying, that's the first event that we have organized in this region. And this is, I think, really important for us to straight. When I say us, it's all the industry. Very important. I will say we, but we is all of us. It's not only Digital Virgo. Very important because we have a lot of things in common, and we have to grow. The things that we have in common. But so our objective is really to strengthen our position here in Eastern Africa, and I think that all the nice words that were spread by Enzel this morning, all these things regarding the carrier billing ecosystem, the sustainability of the business, all of this is really important, is really key today, and this is what I would like to discuss today. A few words about Digital Virgo, of course. So at Digital Virgo, we are aiming to say that we are sitting at the crossroad of content, payment, and local expertise. So we are a global tech company. We are operating in over 50 countries with a simple ambition. It's to monetize digital services through mobile payment while ensuring security, compliance, and user satisfaction. So actually, we have a dual DNA. As a payment enabler, we master carrier billing, mobile money, and regulatory adaptation, and as content distributor, we work with global and local partners to deliver services that make sense culturally, technically, and economically. So, most of all, we believe in ecosystem alignment. Operator, content provider, technology enabler, we must act together to build trust, value, and long-term growth. That's really, really important for us. So this is what we are doing, I would say, almost every day in this 50-plus country. One of my personal objectives, I mean, at the board level, is really to spread this voice of sustainability, but it's not only about talking, it's of course about acting, and acting together is really our priority.
Those are valid points. Thanks for that. Jérôme.
Long press.
Long press?
Yeah.
It's working. Thank you, Akim. So, hello everyone, and thank you for having me today. I'm very happy to be there with you. I am Jérôme Dutoit. Very happy to be there for the first event in Nairobi. It's also my first time in Kenya, and so pleased to be there today. Thank you also for our sponsors, and especially Digital Virgo and Mobile for Content. I am the founder of a consulting company. I was previously working as a VP at Paramount Global, in charge of the distribution of our channels like Nickelodeon or MTV, all Europe, all across Southern Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I was in charge of the launch of our streaming service, Paramount Plus, in France and Italy, with very strong partnerships with Canal Plus and Sky, for example, and also telcos like Orange in France. And previously, I was GM of a French vintage music channel, Melody, where I created a new channel dedicated to the best iconic African singers, Melody d'Afrique. So I went a lot in French-speaking Africa. And before that, I was at Canal Plus in charge of strategy and business development. Currently, I am working for companies like Télésud, a French linear news channel based in Africa. Also, Media One, a very big producer, a French producer. They are launching this week the next movie of Brad Pitt, Formula One, that we will be able to see this week. And today I am representing Cafeyn and Kijo, a group focused on fantastic content. Cafeyn is a press digital service aggregating more than 2,000 titles, daily, weekly, monthly. For the moment, dedicated mostly in Europe, but we are planning to expand in Africa. And Kijo is a youth service with three kinds of services. TV, with short TV for kids, with a lot of content, more than 3,000 content, coming from, for example, Nickelodeon with La Patte Patrouille, Paw Patrol. Kijo Stories and Kijo Games, but we will do a deep dive for that. Yes, we will do a deep dive after.
Thank you, Jérôme. Catherine.
Good morning, everyone. I am happy to be here today. I almost never came. I'm sure some of you know why. Yeah, so I am so happy to be here. I think it's a beautiful day, knowing that I was worried to come into town because of what we thought would be protests. So it's good to see people that I know here. So I'm Catherine, and representing Safaricom, Senior Strategy Manager and Partnerships for Safaricom. I sit in the consumer business and to be very specific, digital services. So this conversation is on point. Over 20 years for me, I've been lucky to work for media and entertainment companies for over 15 years. 10 years in Safaricom, so that's telco experience as well, and of course digital platforms. So passionate, of course, to be able to bring in new digital businesses, to see them, from nothing to seeing them grow and making an impact. That for me is what keeps me awake and energized every other day. Working with partners is a key responsibility for me at Safaricom. So I oversee strategic partnerships with big brands all types of partners. And the same case for our own content creators. We have our own streaming platform, and I'm sure we will have that conversation. So we work with different content creators as well to ensure that we are doing as much as we can to enable and empower the youth. So over to you, Akim.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Before we dive deeper into the conversation, I would like to open with a question for you guys. If you had to fix just one thing in Africa's digital ecosystem today to unlock its full potential, what would it be and why? Let's start with Catherine.
I was hoping you'd say fast. Anyway, Eric. But for me, what would be the big thing that I would want to fix would be access, to be very specific for Africa. And access, I mean, from a price perspective, is affordable. Devices as well, data, if there's anything to fix as well. I know payments, I think we are doing very well in that. I think with M-Pesa, with our DCB integrations, I think we are well in the right direction. But if you don't have as many people who have access, who can afford, who have the right devices, then the content conversation will not go very far. We've been having a conversation with a couple of my colleagues here is, why is it so difficult to scale the content subscription businesses, the different business model, even advertising, etc.? Why is it so difficult? And I honestly think it is all based on access. If we sort that out for every person, then I think we will be way ahead.
Thanks for that. Eric, what is your point of view?
Actually, during the breakfast this morning, I was discussing this topic with Vince. Where are you? You are here. Vince, my partner in Ethiopia, and asked me, why are you here? What do you expect, actually? What do you want to change? And let's make it simple. And again, this is something, and sorry about that I'm going to repeat during all my speech. But what we expect, what we want to change is the customer satisfaction and the sustainability of our business. That's really key. I think that maybe we'll explain, how we've been able to secure the European ecosystem, and Enzel was mentioning, this industry that are, self-regulated or regulated, and then it needs, we will have to be strong all together working on it. It makes some time to make some sacrifice, but I think that the sustainability of our business and working on it is really our highest priority ever.
All right, thank you. Jérôme.
I totally agree with you, Catherine. I think if I would have a magical touch, I will unlock access to ultra affordable data or unlimited data. I have one personal experience. Almost 2 decades ago, I was at Canal+, and we launched mobile TV in 3G, so it was a long time ago. We had a fantastic lineup of premium TV channels. We sell them for €7 per month, but the data was billed on a minute basis, and of course it was main blocker. So we work very closely with SFR, and they changed their mind. They decided to launch the first unlimited access only for these mobile subscribers who were subscribing to Canal+ specific offer. And of course, many engineers were worried about the bandwidth and the risk. We convinced them, and it was a big success. And then Bouygues and Orange and Free follow.
Okay, thank you. So we can see that it's actually a digital ecosystem cannot work without connectivity, which then comes, we can break it down to affordable devices, data, and also digital literacy, also plays probably a big role. Even if you have the devices, how can, let's say, potential users really consume content, and do we have the right local content as well, which is relevant for them? Thanks for that. Catherine, as an operator at the heart of the ecosystem, how does Safaricom decide which digital partners to work with, and what really makes a partnership valuable for you and your users?
So just to note is that we, especially to be very specific, digital services, we can't succeed if we don't have partners. Our business is anchored purely on strategy, on partnerships. How do we go ahead and decide which partner we work with? We usually are very open, by the way, to work with as many partners as possible, because each partner comes in with a different need. There are those ones who want a DCB integration. There are those ones who want a bundled proposition. There are those who want the big brands marketing brand association. So they all are very different types of partners that we get. So we welcome them all, but we evaluate them as they are onboarded. And what do we look out for? Where is just Felix? We had the conversation today. He was asking the kind of content our partners bring. Is it content customers want, or we are forcing it on them? I think it's a debate. We can have that debate all day, but I think it's a mix of both, because we work with both local and international partners. The type of content the international partners bring into the market may not be suitable for our customers, so we guide our partners. And we guide with the lens of who are we targeting. So Safaricom has 4 segments. We have identified and bucketed our customers in 4 segments. So we have our youth, we have our strivers. So strivers are those who are at the bottom of the pyramid. Then there is our achievers. Our achievers are your high end. Everybody here is an achiever. The fact that you're here, you are an achiever. And then we have what you call aspirers. Now, aspirers are business people. They want much more. They are doing very many things, but they hold quite a big portion in our ecosystem. So that is how we also evaluate. So by the time a partner is coming, we can be able to tell that this content will be suitable for the youth. And if it will be suitable for the youth, then therefore, what is the ARPU of a youth? Can they afford this? Because you could come and say, I will charge 100, but then we tell you, no, the ARPU of the youth cannot, they will not pay. However, if it is an achiever, you say, okay, then this content is towards the achiever. They can afford, the amount of money perhaps you want them to take up. So that's how we look at the kind of partners who come on board, but it has to be content that is of interest to our customers. Of course, we have our own local customers here, and partners as well, and we depend on them to also give us that local angle. So yes, we embrace all partners. At the moment, we have our own streaming service. It's called Biz. We also work with different content creators. In that regard, we ingest the content onto the platform. But as a partner, you can come and you have your own platform. You can, if you're like Showmax, if you're Netflix, if you're, you have your own. We can work with you. We'll integrate with you in terms of payment. We'll work with you in terms of marketing. So that is how critical it is to ensure that our customers get the best of all worlds.
So the offering should be, whatever offering it is, it should be user-centric.
It has to be.
You don't feel like to force certain kind of services to your audience.
Yes, and in fact what we're also doing now, because it's becoming a key issue as well, is how customers access your content. If you do not have a seamless experience, customers will just drop off. So we are ensuring, even at the point of onboarding, we go through your journey, we give ideas on how you will improve, and we will not onboard until that gets done. Because we know if you don't sort that out, then our customers will definitely have an issue. So we work with, from price to customer journey to everything to ensure the kind of content that you bring for our customers, that you make sure that it is right on point, so that you also succeed as a partner.
Okay, thank you. So Eric, when we look at digital Virgo and the vast experience you have in Africa, we almost can say Africa lies in your DNA. So what would you say is one key ingredient you believe is essential to build a sustainable digital service model on the continent?
Actually, the first thing I wanted to mention is that this sustainability is really a collective responsibility. I mean, why? It's very simple, because the performance of a digital ecosystem is relying on the effective coordination between, in our industry, between telecom operators, content provider, and technology enabler. So really, working collectively is very important. So the telecom operators, what they are doing, they are controlling the billing channels, they are controlling the customer relationship, and their mission is very simple. It's to ensure security, transparency, and to guarantee, the quality of the user experience. The content provider, what do they need? A company like Kijio, what do they need? They need fast, compliant, and scalable access to the user. That's what they are expecting. And intermediary, they are bridging the gap. Between this content provider and telecom operators. What do? They provide technology, monetization tools, compliance frameworks, reporting dashboard, and local market expertise. So to me, that's the first thing, collective responsibility, working together. Then I would like to elaborate on the three core pillars of our industry. The first pillar is very simple. It's bringing the right product. So that's what Catherine was mentioning. We have to match the market needs. Simple, easy. Second, delivering a smooth customer journey from the pre-purchase to the post-purchase, with ensuring, again, acquisition, transparent billing, responsive support. And the last pillar is the commitment to ecosystem sustainability. So again, through regulation or self-regulation. That's really important. So let me develop maybe a little bit. Sorry, I'm not very digital. I still have paper, as you can see.
But at least not handwritten.
So what about providing the right product to the right market? Actually, something funny, just a short story, because very often, some international content provider are asking me, Eric, why do I need to enter Africa? Hey, guys, come on, Africa. It's more than 50 countries. So, as I was saying, each one is unique. Expectation of every country is unique. Every local culture is unique. What's going to work in Ghana, for example, will not work in Botswana. What drives engagement in Ethiopia will fail maybe in Ivory Coast. So, being local, taking care of the local touch is very important. So that's what we are trying to do at Digital Virgo, with taking care of local language, format, device, pricing, all of this. So not all, because sometimes we go, okay, I'm going to translate the content, make it easy. So it's not only about translating the market. It's really, again, cultural codes, working with local creators, and really bringing meaningful usage. That's for us very important. And just again to give you an example, for example, in Ethiopia, actually we have co-created with Ethio Telecom an e-sport platform called Ethio Arena, but with bringing the technology. We have this tournament organization technology at Digital Virgo, but then we have been really working on the localization of the content, taking care that the population in Ethiopia is very young, so there is a youth culture to take into consideration. So the result at the end of the day is really what we can see. It's a strong engagement on the product. And very often we are told by telecom operator, what is the usage? And we are a bit struggling on that. We say, I'm not very comfortable with that. But really, with doing search, engagement is growing. And user retention also is is increasing.
So when we look at seamless, so Catherine mentioned it's important to have a seamless user flow. But when we look at from a technology perspective and a partnership perspective, that also should be a kind of a seamless process to avoid that technology becomes an obstacle, rather an opportunity. How do you see it? How does these different stakeholders work together when they engage with you, with content partners, to, let's say, at the end of the day, deploy new services?
Actually, that's to me. I've been speaking about the product itself. Then it's really to be able to deliver a smooth customer journey. I mean, that's really something that we need to achieve. And again, as I was saying previously, it's from the pre-purchase to the post-purchase. So pre-purchase, we need to bring technology, everything required to secure the acquisition. So working with proper a network, for example, and getting rid of affiliation. All the legacy way of recruiting subscriber. All the advertising now needs to be monitored, needs to be pre-approved. So we need to bring, I would say, to the table, to the platform, a cybersecurity company. So we have with them, I think, MCP. Today, but we are working with other like Ampelo, like Evina, to detect and stop non-compliant campaign. That's really important to protect the user from the misleading ads. So the second step, and I would say maybe it's more about technology, the purchase step, the purchase phase, it's about enabling secure and transparent payment. So how, with enabling 3G, 4G, either enrichment, with working also on the Wi-Fi flow, with bringing everything possible to increase the purchase awareness. So, for example, what we do, and this is part of the regulation, it's to always display proper information like the price of the service, the billing frequency, service name, terms and conditions, cancel link. Very often, we cancel. Right? How can I unsubscribe? Sorry, you have to text. This very, very, very long message to this unknown shortcode, and you will see. No. Actually, you need to. You must unsubscribe. On the service, it's basic. But trust me, in many countries, it's not the case. So that's why I'm mentioning.
That's a valid point.
So again, technology, cybersecurity company, because fraud is a reality. I was talking about trusted ad network, but we have to keep in mind that even with working with Google, still you may have, from a country to another, from 3 to 6% of fraud. So you have to fight this fraud. So meaning that you have to work with a specialist of anti-fraud, and simple. All this suspicious activity must be flagged, blocked. Banned. Definitely. And the last step is really, and sometimes this is something that we are forgetting, is the post-purchase, because we need to ensure responsive and accessible support to the subscriber. So what do we have to do? It's providing the telecom operators, with either they have their own call center because they want to manage exclusively the relation with their user, because we don't have to forget that in our industry we are addressing the user of the telecom operator. So we are in the B2B2C activity. It's not pure B2C, actually. It's B2B2C. So we must be able to provide to the telecom operator MSC SDN search, subscription log, refund tools, blacklist. In some countries, we are providing, by ourselves a call center, because in some countries it's possible. In every country, we provide self-care. So self-care is at least, a website that, every subscriber can go, can unsubscribe, can check, what is subscribed to, and omnichannel is also very important. So, I mean, customer care is not only about SMS, it must be also WhatsApp, IVR, email, live chat, I mean, whole kind of channel. And also something that is quite relevant, and just to give you an example, in Morocco, we were able to reduce by 40% the number of requests at the telecom operator side, with running a Google Ads campaign, I mean, to promote the self-care. So, I mean, for all the users to be aware that there is a place that they can go to check their subscription, to, I mean, get information about the product, and to unsubscribe, I mean, if they want to unsubscribe. And last, I mean, but not least, I mean, and this is something that Enzel I've been talking this already this morning, but actually, Digital Virgo. We are running. I mean, last year we have run almost a little bit more than 400,000 million euro of revenue, and you know where? I mean, half of this revenue were coming from countries that are regulated. So, I mean, it's not a joke. We're saying that, I mean, a country needs to be regulated. It's the reality. I mean, and so we really believe that, I mean, in every country, we need to find a way, I mean, working all together to either self-regulate or regulate, but at least to be able to bring into the table telecom operators, regulators, content provider, aggregators, cybersecurity company. I mean, all the stakeholders that are involved in our business. This is really important.
So and the private and public partnership has to.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. And in a country like France, for example, you have the AF2M that is a public, I mean, regulated entity. You have the same, I mean, in South Africa with the WASPA. UK is also, I mean, a regulated market. Country in Africa, Burkina Faso, small country, but good thing, it's regulated thanks to the regulator body. So I mean, this is really something that we have to work on, and that we have to put in place in every country. Again, I mean, to guarantee this sustainability.
Okay, thank you. Jérôme, Eric mentioned or answered already the question, why Africa? And he just showed us or guided us through several verticals of it. So from your perspective, what's still missing to make content partnerships in Africa more scalable and long-term? And also, what kind of support would you like to see or you need to have from, let's say, a telco perspective and also from a platform perspective?
Okay, I will try to be quick to have more questions. And of course, I will be very happy to connect with all of you during lunch and after. Why Africa? Very quickly, because of course there is a very strong demand, and also because there is a strong telco ecosystem. For me, to answer your question, the key success factors are, first, what do I need me? It's strong content that I believe, strong IPs. I want to watch, to read newspapers like Le Monde in Italy, Corriere della Sera, or Financial Times. Or on video, we need also strong IPs. So content is absolutely key. It's not sufficient. We need, and what I see, of course, from every territory is that we need local content. This is absolutely key. So we are working very closely with content partners to localize some content, to produce some content, especially for kids. This is absolutely key. And we need to have the good balance between Hollywood DNA content, which are still very important, and local content. And also, what is missing for the moment, for me, and what is key, is to be absolutely fine-tuned with the local markets, to find the good pricing, the good behaviors. And for me, the key word is trust. Trust with the clients, of course. But what you said, Eric, is absolutely key. We need to be very transparent on the pricing, on the customer care. And so trust first with our subscribers, and of course, before that, trust between us, between telcos and partners. For example, we launched in Africa with Digital Virgo in Morocco. It was a very, very big success. Then we continue to deploy in Ivory Coast and Senegal. And we are now looking for other territories, and Kenya will be a fantastic opportunity for us.
So we can say the main ingredient you probably need is local content or localized content.
Yes, I would say localized content and localized approach to the market. For example, in Europe, in France, we are doing a hybrid business model with the telcos. Cafeyn is included to every SFR subscribers, while with free they have a different approach, and it's more focused on ARPU, so it's an upsell model. It's the same with SFR, it's more an upsell model also. So, of course, it's in Morocco, we absolutely need companies like Digital Virgo to approach the market with different pricing, not only monthly subscribers, but weekly or sometimes daily subscriptions. So content, local content is key, but also local approach to the market. And we don't have this expertise. This expertise is on your side.
Catherine, from your perspective, how can content providers and telcos work closer together to probably develop the right models to approach the audience?
So when we say models, you mean business models or monetization models?
Actually both, and also service at the end of the day for your customers.
Okay. So of course there's an opportunity obviously to work with our partners. So for us, we ensure that we share as much data, and especially at the point of engaging our partners, so that they understand the market, our customers, and then you're able to then give the right product or service. Exactly what my colleagues here are saying, it's about understanding the market, that you come in here, you will need to charge using the Kenyan currency, makes it easier. You'll need to come and integrate to M-Pesa. You'll need to understand who your customer is. So yes, there's an opportunity for us to do so, and we do that as well. It's about saying, if you want a data proposition, what are the different models we can take to market? And that we still are trying to experiment. We won't say that we have nailed it as yet. And for us, it's about how do we experiment together with our partners, like-minded people who are ready to take the risks, especially in the content space. I'm sure by now you all agree, if you don't experiment, there is no sure way of doing it. We have to keep experimenting. So like for Safaricom on the data side, and I'm happy to hear that, what you have done, where you give unlimited data. So for us, we have what we call the soft bundle, where you just have you just add data onto the subscription service. We've tested that. We've seen it works, but it takes time, because you're having to convince a customer to buy a whole brand new bundle. It could be expensive because then you've put in data on top of it, and it becomes very expensive. So again, experimenting with our partners is critical. But what we know without a doubt is customers don't want to pay so much for content. So the question is, how then do you work with telcos and work with partners to come up with different models of like discounted rates? Then we don't change the data price. We just tell the customer, guess what? You've been buying the 1 GB, now you have content on it. But don't increase the price. What does that mean? It means we have to work with you, the partners, to come up with different models of monetizing, and then we try it out and see. So the other is, of course, also working with our partners on what we've discovered is that again, customers don't want to pay for the content, but they want to test the content. Once they test it, then they'll pick it up. So we are introducing, the seeding proposal, where you push free content and then charge. So different ways to work with different partners from a payment perspective, from content perspective, from a data perspective, but we continue to share and experiment until we get it right. But there are those who are getting it right, but it's still not an easy journey.
Thank you. AI is dominating the industry. Looking ahead, what's one thing Safaricom is most excited about when it comes to shaping the future of digital services in Africa?
So what excites us, and especially around AI, it's on the seamless journeys. So, and being able to use AI to recommend, to net customers, we observe what it is you're consuming, and therefore we are able to use that to be able to keep recommending as much as possible, to make those journeys so intuitive using AI, of course. So we get excited in that direction. How it will affect content production is yet to get to the part where, we are yet to figure that out. But for us, it's more around the journeys. I would put it that way.
All right,
yes.
Thank you. Eric, what advice would you give telcos or regulators about enabling better digital services?
That's a good question, actually, and I'm never comfortable for giving advice to the telecom operators.
So now's your chance.
But what I expect, from the telecom operators is, as I was saying, we are an ecosystem. This ecosystem is made of telecom operators, merchant, integrator, IT, and I really believe that we have to find a way of working together. So every one of us needs to understand the expectation of the telecom operators, but also of the merchant themselves, because being fast is very important. Customer satisfaction is very important as well. Revenue is very important as well, because we all have very nice shareholders that are some financial expectation at the end of the day. So I would say that also every one of us want to get their bonus at the end of the year. So we need to find a way, to work together. So it's not about giving an advice. I think it's more of being able to find the right word, bringing, our expertise. So here, out of Kenya, to explain what we have done in other countries, what could be done here in Kenya. I remember, during the last MEF summit in KL, in Kuala Lumpur, we were talking about educating, and I say I don't like to educate neither the telecom operators, because it's not my mission. It's not about telling them what to do. Again, this is about trust. This is about working together. First, we need to trust. We need this trust, because if telecom operator, okay, I'm afraid, this guy is okay, maybe he's going to generate revenue, but at the end of the day, I will receive so much complaint that I prefer not to do anything. Okay, it's not the right. It means that we have failed. With talking to you, telecom operators. So me personally, what I would ask, what I would say is, let's build trust together. That's the most important thing for me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It was a very nice conversation. Unfortunately, we almost run over time. First of all, I would like to thank MEF for creating such a platform. As we learned, it's very important that we exchange, we build partnerships on an equal level, where we see, okay, where we struggle, where we can benefit from each other, how can we support each other. And also, thanks and a big applause for the panelists here. Thanks a lot. And thanks for Digital Virgo for sponsoring this panel and inviting me. And I guess if you still have...
5 minutes for questions.
Perfect, right. Cool. So if someone has a question, we already have someone. Then do we have a microphone? Yeah.
Thank you for the organizers. It's not the number who makes the quality, that is very clear. And I can really see in this panel that from Catherine to Akim through Jérôme and Eric for sure, I have a partnership with him. The quality of the speakers is undeniable. But I was also impressed by how Jason maintains things simple. I'm not a fan of DCB, everybody knows it. But I'm a big fan of mobile wallet. And I believe that the future, by the way, is not mobile money, I think it is mobile trading. That's a totally different discussion. What I didn't hear here is, I'm talking about what is missing for me, because everything was covered, the infrastructure, affordability. But there is one thing that I don't agree, that people don't want to pay. Now, I think people want to pay. But it has to be meaningful, and if it is free somewhere, nobody wants to pay. There I'm breathing, God thinks it's free, I'm not ready to pay for that. But if I go in a swimming pool and I go deep, I'm ready to pay for it. Education, people are ready to pay for it. Entertainment, the amount of people used in the bar of the next place, people are paying for it. So I don't think there is really an issue of people don't want to pay. The real question that I'm asking myself, we always speak about the potential of Africa. But when are we going to stop talking about potential? When are we going to say, this is it? Because there is no more creative population on earth, I believe, than Africa, in terms of culture, diversity. But one of the things I didn't hear at all, it is the copyrights. When you see what the Nigerians do with a phone in terms of Nollywood and so on, is there something today, a platform where tomorrow Digital Virgo can say, okay, I've seen that a little bit with one of their products, YouScript, where basically people can have audio content, that people could just add their audio content, and we are sure that the publishing rights are covered, and if people are listening or looking to their movies, that they are paid immediately. So that is basically my question. Thank you.
Actually, you've said many things. We may dedicate the next panel, for answering your question.
I will say very quickly that I totally agree with you. Of course, content is absolutely key, and people are paying for content if we do what we need. We need to show them that it's premium content, it's exclusive content, it's content that we cannot find somewhere else for free or pirated. We also need to be sure that we are in safe environment. This has some value. For example, Kijo has been the founder of Kijo TV, was a former designer of Google Maps at Google. So he designed Kijo TV especially for his own kids, with a very safe environment, no commercial, no ability to go back. It's very simple, very smooth, and this has some value. And what I learned from all my experience at TF1, at Canal+, at Paramount, is that content, video content or press content have some value, but we need to work very closely with telco, sometimes to be creative, of course, but it's still an achievement and it's very fragile. For example, in France, we see that with the French Premier League. All the ingredients are not yet there this year. DAZN has the right for the French Championship, and IPTV has increased a lot, and it's decreasing value for the whole industry. So we need absolutely to be aligned to work on that and to continue creating the value for content.
But there's also one thing I would like to add, because that's a conversation I think we have over years already. How can we localize content? We should not forget in Africa we talk about a continent with probably almost over 2,000 different languages, where I see probably with AI now accelerating very fast, it can be an enabler through different verticals, through apps, content, videos, etc. There are a lot of big companies, broadcasters are working already on technologies to probably dub certain content in, let's say, in real time. So that's still a big issue, and that's something we shouldn't forget. It's not about to have, let's say, European or Western world solution, just implementing them on the African continent with some French-speaking content, for example. It also has to really fit the needs. And of course, we have a very young generation on the continent. I mean, 50% are below 30, but we still have an older generation who probably don't want to consume this kind of content. Perfect, good. Then I think we have to finish now. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.